welcome to episode 6 of Bookkeeping and Beer. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Amber, and we do these videos to empower businesses around their finances by removing confusion, fear, and uncertainty so that the small business will have the clarity to expand, succeed, and control their business and lives.
So this week we are going to be talking about the 7 bookkeeping myths that occur in the industry. So first, Amber, the question number 1 is, or the first myth is, QuickBooks built an AI and banking rules to do all the work. Is that true?
There is a portion of QuickBooks Online that has AI capabilities, and the banking rules do help facilitate some shortcuts, and even to create some consistencies, but I wouldn't say that you literally can turn it on and walk away. There has to be still a human set of eyes going through it. We do not just rely on a computer or AI to do everything.
Interesting. So if somebody was to say that, like, hey,
say no.
Like,
that's not true.
I was hoping you'd elaborate a little bit more, but that's all right. The next question is, or the next myth is, the balance sheet doesn't matter.
That's also not true. It matters greatly. And as we've done other videos, we did do one about what is on the balance sheet recently. And it does give you the health and status of your business, the value of your business. It can portray that to people. It shows how much your company is worth versus how much you owe to other businesses or other loans out there. And it's very important. Most people ignore it, but it is very important. It does matter.
So who would say that the balance sheet doesn't matter? What kind of, is that a general, most people, not many people?
I think it's common. I think it's common people ignore. It's hard to think through fixed assets, depreciation, liabilities, thinking nobody wants to know how far debt they have with, loans
kind of an emotional,
and lines and credits and credit cards. So nobody wants to open that up and say, how much am I in debt? So it matters though.
So it's a scary place to go for people sometimes, and that's where it does matter.
Yeah.
So, all right, the next one is, bookkeeping is only about data entry.
Not true. Not true. So there's a lot you can do with numbers, and you can translate and transpose numbers to find out the health of a business, to find out where you could actually save money, spend money, what you should be spending on marketing and advertising versus how much more do you have to pay to get out of debt and to free up that money. So there's a lot of power, and that was part of our intro mission statement, is really to give you all, the business owner, the tools to know what's going on in your business so you can make those business decisions. Even this week I was talking to a new customer and just trying to explain that with the state of your books, if it's this messy, there's no way you actually could make decisions for your business. And I actually was very empathetic and sympathetic to that, because without that knowledge and power, or the accuracy of the books, you really can't. And that's important.
Yeah, the health of the business is not understood, and then it's kind of a shooting at a dartboard as far as what's going on.
What to do next for a business,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of cranking through these, but
that's okay.
Number 4.
Yeah.
It's easy. Anyone can do bookkeeping. That's what I used to think. Like, no problem.
No. I mean, it helps if you love math, and it helps if you have an organized brain of knowing increasing and decreasing or debits and credits. But it is not intuitive. I never claim that it's intuitive to people. And the detail needed to accomplish it, is important too. And people think it's just the rote push a button. It actually is way more than that. And then we get customers calling us and saying, well, the person doing my bookkeeping doesn't know when they reach a problem, doesn't know when this happens. It's because all they do is the push a button or is the data entry. There's so much more to that, and knowing how to troubleshoot and problem solve is also what's very important. So.
All right, so bookkeeping, anyone can do bookkeeping, and That's not true because it's a skill set. It's something that took years and years of understanding and studying and certification, and then not only understanding basic accounting, but also and in-depth accounting, but it's also part of understanding how to use the program and manipulate and use numbers in the way that can report properly and understand, so people can understand what's going on with their it's not just, you can't just jump in and start doing the numbers unless you're kind of a genius, but I mean,
or a math major or an accounting major.
That's another myth, is even the math thing. Well, you have to be good at math.
That's true.
So there's really not. You don't have to be good at math. You just need to like numbers and want to go through numbers, right? Yeah. So the next step is we're going to go into sampling some beer. So we have some great beers this week, and we're going to do a little bit of an add-on at the end of it. We're going to sample something that I've never had. I don't know if Amber's never had, but we will get into it next. All right, beer number 1.
Okay.
Tell me about what you see and what you smell.
Well, it's light yellow. Smells like a lager.
How's it taste?
Clean, crisp, refreshing. What are we drinking?
We're drinking Good Morning Munich, Bavarian style Helles lager from Art History Brewing. And that is...
It's a pretty can.
Yeah, it's
blue
very,
and white.
Very simple, but very detailed and a lot of fun. So,
it's very good.
Where is Art History? Itasca.
Itasca, Illinois. So shout out to Art History Brewing. Okay.
Right. Good beer.
Yeah.
I like it. It's nice and clean and crisp.
Yeah. So I guessed right, but it's a Helles lager. Okay.
Yeah, that was great. You haven't it's back on the right track.
I don't always get these right. Okay, number 2.
You're gonna like this one. I don't know if there's many beers that you don't like.
Well, coffee ones, I don't.
You didn't like that one from a few episodes ago?
Well, the jalapeno one, that was cool. We had. Yeah. Okay, what is this? Same colors. Oh, it's definitely happier. As an IPA. Yeah.
Do you like IPAs, Amber?
Of course I do. But this is not my favorite. I will say that. I don't love it. What are we drinking here?
We're drinking Begyle.
Okay. That's Chicago based.
Yeah. They usually have really good consistent.
Yeah.
Really good with the IPAs. Really enjoy them.
This one, it has a different...
Or not Printers Row, Brewers Row.
But this has a different front flavor. I can't even put the word on it. Right in the front. I don't know. You can go grab a Beguiled set and see what you think.
Begyle.
Begyle, not beguiled. Begyle, yeah.
So it's Hard to Be Citra Double American India Pale Ale. What is that's why it's double. It's 9.5%.
Okay.
Ouch. That's probably, you're probably tasting the booziness. That's what I kind of...
Right in the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but...
Okay. Well, we'll drink that one slowly. So, moving on to...
All right, so we're going to do this, not a surprise, but it's going to be a new thing for me. I've never had hard cider before.
Oh.
So I found a hard cider.
We're
we can just taste
hard
from
cider.
the same glass. And this is Right Bee Cider, semi-dry, hard apple cider.
Another really cool can. I'm showing it to the people. There we go. Okay.
This is right in Chicago, too. Costner Avenue. Like Kevin Costner.
I've never heard of it, though.
Me neither. And we're sticking true to Chicago on this. We got the Siebel Institute on there. I studied there. This was my graduation gift. from the Siebel Institute.
I like it. I also, look at this on the back. I just noticed it has dry to sweet, which is kind of, if you're more of a sweet hard cider or a dry hard cider. I actually like that balance of where that's at. Yeah.
That's really good.
It's excellent.
I really like that.
Yeah.
It's not beer, but it's just a nice, be a great drink on a boat or
Hot summer day.
hot summer day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. On to number 5 on the bookkeeping myths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one, CPAs and bookkeepers do the same thing.
No, we don't.
All right, next question.
No. I always give this analogy. I probably have given it before. Think of a nurse and a doctor. The nurse does all the work, knows the ins and outs of the entire case, and then the doctor walks in and just does the surgery or does the procedure, whether it's a dermatologist, a cardiologist, pick any of them. Typically,
Yeah.
I always give that analogy because really we're in your books all year long and we see the in and out, and what's going on and how healthy you are and what's, how much loans, how much debt, how much assets are on the books, where the cash flow is going, where the money's being spent, and how much money's being made. So the CPA just takes it, throws it into what the IRS needs, not just. I'm not going to offend the CPAs out there, but their job is to know the tax laws, tax codes, and to just apply it to give you the best deduction.
So you're doing the heavy lifting and you're in connection with the businesses in their, like you said, their health, what they're producing, whether they're making good decisions, bad decisions, all through the whole, every year. And it's fascinating because you really get excited when you see people do well. And most of our clients are doing really well right now, thankfully.
Yeah.
We're on the question of what's happening with inflation moment, but thankfully everybody's doing really well in the service-based industry is what one of our focuses are. And we've seen a lot of success, and it's encouraging to see that, and it's in a world that's very difficult in the small business world for people to keep going forward and keep being successful and keeping their heads above water.
I would say too, bookkeepers and CPAs, there's a great synergy to it because a bookkeeper doesn't want to sit there and do all the detail. We like to do all the detail, I don't want to.
You mean the CPA?
Yeah, the CPA does not want to sit there and do all the data entry, more than data entry all year long. And we enjoy that. We want to give you monthly reports and monthly data to digest and chew on and make decisions on. They just want to give you the return and the advice from what IRS needs.
Yeah.
And they just want it, they're busy 4 months out of the year, 5 months out of the year, some tax.
Yeah, they
things.
get loaded up for tax seasons and then.
Whereas our calendar year is pretty consistent.
We're paced out versus just we have a mountain of work versus not.
We're running the marathon. They do the sprint.
That's
Both are important,
analogy.
right? Okay.
All right, next question. Are we on number 6 now?
Yes.
Okay, 6 out of the 7. You only need a bookkeeper during tax time.
Nah, no, please do not call us. Do not call us January 1 and say, can you do all of 2022 in the month of January?
We can do all of 2022, but you're going to file an extension.
Yes, you are. And really, nobody wants to cram a year's worth of work into a month. So really think through that. And we get lots of customers in the spring saying, I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing Christmas and New Year's again, where it's just cramming for an IRS test to get your taxes done. So think ahead, plan ahead, get in a good plan.
And if you are at that point right now,
come on, it's only July.
Right now, there's no better time. Don't procrastinate. Keep going forward.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now or even during tax time, you need to get going. Let go of the emotional burden and
let's rip off the Band-Aid. Here we go.
Just go for it because you're going to be at a much better position, knowing which direction you're going to go and knowing, how are you going to resolve those issues? Because that's such a big burden that we take off of your plate so that it can be, resolved versus that constant questioning, fear, or trying to ignore and procrastinate on something that's very important. So we encourage you to always, if you are a procrastinator, don't feel like you're going to be beat up or No, we are here to help and solve that problem.
Still
So
call
that's-
us, even
that's
if you
the
wait till
job.
the last minute. But
Yeah, so
we're advising you to think ahead if you can.
yeah,
That's
sooner
all.
the better. So, the last seventh one.
Seventh myth of the day.
The only big businesses need bookkeepers.
Also not true. We have
Wow.
little bitty ones, little businesses, and then
Glad
we've
you-
got big businesses.
Yeah,
And I like all of them. I love to see the little fish grow
yeah,
and get excited to be self-employed. And then we've got big companies that are a little more complicated and take more time, but we don't discriminate against size of business or type of business, really, entity. And it's important. I mean, you've heard us talk about that before, too, in other episodes of the importance of keeping good records.
yeah,
It matters, even if you're small.
yeah.
If you're making money and you have expenses, track them.
Yeah.
We've talked about
One
that
way or
before.
another. Yeah.
One way or another, we have.
You know, until you get to like the point where you need to hire somebody, but you can
Yeah.
at least, there's different ways that you can, even if you made $100 in a month, like you still need to track it.
Yeah.
Like it's very important that you keep that start from 0 to millions. You know.
Yeah, so that's
So-
it, 7 bookkeeping.
Yeah. So those are the 7 bookkeeping myths, and we thank you so much for watching this episode.
If we didn't cover one and you're like, you forgot this one.
Yeah. Or
Let
you
us
have
know.
questions
Or
like,
questions.
hey, I don't get that, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're always here to help, and we're always here to create more content. So please subscribe if you like, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.